Hey everybody, welcome to the Blue Wave. So we have some new information about who has qualified for the second Republican debate. And I think it's going to shed some light on really just what we can expect from the debates. Not only that, but also how it may impact the rest of the 2024 Republican nomination race. Okay, so let's look at the numbers here from New York Times without any further ado. Okay, so it says here, who has qualified for the second Republican presidential debate? At least 6 candidates appear to have made the cut so far for their second Republican presidential debate on September 27th. Circle your calendar, ladies and gentlemen. September 27th is when the second debate is going to occur. Former President Trump did not attend the first debate. It's unclear whether Trump will take part in the second, in part because he has not signed a pledge to support the eventual nominee. Going to do a quick rundown here of who's qualified for the debate. So everyone who's qualified for the debate is Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley, Mike Pence, Chris Christie, and Tim Scott. We've got Doug Burgum and Asa Hutchinson here, who did attend the first debate but are not going to be qualifying for the second debate, and a bunch of other candidates down here that have no shot of winning at all. So it's not even really worth the time to talk about them. I think that we're really going to see what Ron DeSantis is made of here. And I really think that there's going to be a make or break moment for Ron DeSantis during this debate. And my money is that it's going to be a break moment. In fact, it's a much more likely chance that it's going to be a break moment, because as less and less candidates are up there to speak and to take up time, the lights are only going to get brighter and brighter for the governor of Florida. And we've seen that he doesn't really perform well when the lights are on him like that, because during the last debate, he got romped over in terms of attention by Ramaswamy and Nikki Haley, and even somebody like Mike Pence. All had arguably much stronger debate performances than Ron DeSantis did. And I think that somebody who's experienced and poised and has good speaking skills and is able to relate to people and at least fake like they have some sort of empathy, like, or that they're some sort of normal human, all things that, as we know, if you watch my channel for any time at all things we know that Ron DeSantis cannot do or isn't capable of doing or will not do for whatever reason in any sort of way. Nikki Haley, I think, is somebody that could keep going up in the polls. And somebody like Vivek Ramaswamy is also somebody that, you know, could see a bump in the polls if he has another good debate performance, even though his campaign's kind of not really held from the good debate performance that he had. And the polls are not exactly looking too great for Ramaswamy as of right now, the ones I've looked at least on Real Clear Politics. Chris Christie, you know, he's just a weak debater. He doesn't really have an audience to pitch to, because Democrats are never going to vote for Chris Christie because he supported Trump for 2 elections. Okay, that's just the bottom line. Democrats are never ever going to support or like Chris Christie for that reason alone. Doesn't matter how much he's against them or how much he says the right thing now. He was supportive of Trump, and he's been supportive of his type of politics, and is one of the people that helped Trump hand in hand get to being as popular as he is in this country. So for that reason, Christie's just not, he's just in political no man's land, because the right hates him because he's the only one that has the gall or any kind of guts to say the truth about their golden leader, Donald Trump. And that basically disqualifies Christie in their book. So, you know, Mike Pence is somebody that runs into the same problem. And even though he did kind of have this organic moment where he appeared to be kind of ticked off by Vivek Ramaswamy and was actually kind of combative. And I thought it was kind of like, it showed a side of Mike Pence where you could picture a pissed off Mike Pence, you know, kind of going to battle with these right-wing lunatics and trying to be the last line of defense for sanity for the Republicans. Or that needs to be Mike Pence's selling point of his campaign, that he's, you know, trying to go back to an old-fashioned, you know, normalcy, but he doesn't really have the gall or the political skills to really explain it or kind of like break it down for the potential voter base as he's doing. And it's just he lacks it. Okay, and he goes on and on about how he doesn't want to be just remembered as being a accessory to Donald Trump and just basically just being Donald Trump's vice president, and that's all he ever did, and that's his political legacy, and that's all he's ever remembered for in this country. But it's like Mike Pence, it's, you know, he needs to have a reminder that that is the best thing that he's ever accomplished in his entire life, because his governorship of Indiana was a disaster, and there's disaster and after disaster that happened under his watch, including restrictions of abortion rights, one of the strictest states in terms of abortion rights prior to Mike Pence being picked for Trump's vice president, and among a bunch of other things. You guys can look it up if you don't believe me, okay? Indiana became a much better state when Mike Pence stopped being the governor, and he doesn't really have any political accomplishments outside of, you know, what was other accomplishments that the Trump administration apparently did. I accidentally just took a screenshot on my phone. Oops. But, you know, I'll sit here and wait. You know, what were the accomplishments that were achieved by Trump? Okay. Don't tell me gas prices are cheaper. Don't tell me about inflation. Don't tell me about, okay, because these are factors that definitely would have affected our country in ways that are unpredictable and hard to completely understand, no matter who is president. Just like how COVID-19 would have affected the country, excuse me, compared to how if Donald Trump was, you know, during Donald Trump's presidency. So yeah, that's basically where it's at, I think, with this polling here. It's an interesting numbers. I think that, again, somebody like Nikki Haley and somebody like Ramaswamy are really the benefactors, and Tim Scott remains to be kind of a dark horse, I think, where there's potential for him to pick up a state here or there, and there's potential for him to, like, he has the ability to, I think, ride it the campaign out and see it through more so than some of these other people at the bottom, but he doesn't really have any sort of angle either to the to any of the voter base out there. And I think it's going to continue to reflect in his dwindling poll numbers. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys in this one. I want to thank you so much for watching the video. Please be sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, peace.